I did not choose to become a barber. Barbering chose me. Let me tell you how randomly I found the thing I vibrate with and how I made money out of it. Then how it opened my eyes about different paths, more entrepreneurial if I could say. So I started cutting my own hair when I was a teenager. And as surprising as it sounds, my very first self-cut was clean. I know I'm bald, but I used to have hair, right? I grabbed a pair of Walmart clippers in one hand and a handled mirror on the other to see the back and sides, combined with the bathroom wall mirror. Cutting hair is really natural to me. I mean, I watch haircut tutorials on YouTube and I reproduce them quite easily. Then I started cutting friends and schoolmates around high school times for $10. For the first time, I was making some money doing what I naturally do enjoy, because I would cut hair for fun without money even being involved. The next step came to me very naturally. At that time, I was working for an international software company and I had kinda enough of the office environment. Meanwhile, on the side, I did for fun a public open barbering Facebook page where I posted a few haircuts of mine. Randomly, a shop owner glanced over the page and offered me a try in his barbershop. Apparently, he needed someone decent at fading, somewhere in the mountains, so he texted me on Messenger. It's funny how sometimes opportunities appear at the right time. I needed change from the office environment, so I accepted the job offer and I ended up moving from Vancouver to Whistler, where the barbershop is located. I moved from a big city to a mountainous and touristic place for my first professional position as a barber. Money-wise, the deal was 50% commission plus tips, meaning every client I did cut, I earned half the price of the haircut plus tips. You know what's funny? After my very first day as a professional barber, the other barber wasn't believing me at all that it was actually my first day ever working in a barbershop. My cuts were apparently too clean for someone who just started using actual professional clippers. They even called me a liar. I think that's when I realized I might be kinda gifted with natural abilities in the craft. I wasn't realizing it so far because cutting hair for me is fun and natural. It's something I would offer to some of my friends just for the joy of fading and cutting. Whistler is crowded with new tourists every day, and we were one of the few barbershops in the village, so all the crowd didn't have too much choice to get groomed. That's the reason why I was exceptionally fully booked even the first day. I'm not gonna lie, my primary motivation was to make money. I was hungry, so I used to work longer hours than what the shop owner was used to with others. As a barber, another big advantage of touristic area is that I had around 18 to 20 clients a day effortlessly. Then boom, my first bi-weekly paycheck arrived. It was around 3,500 Canadian dollars, and I'm not even including tips. I remember when I deposited the paycheck at the bank, the clerk was kinda surprised, almost disbelieving that I made this much money in only 2 weeks. Whistler is a beautiful mountainous village, but after a while, it becomes too small and boring. So I decided to move back to the city with some cash in my bank account. As a barber, there are lots of opportunities, especially if you're good and you have an Instagram account with nice cuts to prove your work to employers. I immediately found a job in the city of Vancouver and the wealthy area of Olympic Village. And there, I learned life-changing information as someone coming from the working class. That's where my perception of the world improved. My conception of work and money got deeper. See, as a barber, you get intimate with people. And that area is crowded with some very interesting people for someone like me interested about money. I had entrepreneurs in various fields, business owners, movie makers, actors, athletes sitting with me on a daily basis. Can you imagine? Money used to sit on my barber chair. For me, the barber, it wasn't only a haircut appointment. It was also an opportunity to get knowledge about money, almost like a hub. I was discussing about money in business with wealthy clients as often as I could. It might surprise you, but most successful and smart people are willing to help when you just ask for it. When they see you're genuinely hustling to improve your financial situation, they actually respect that. Most of them went through difficult times hustling to get where they are, so they know a little N can represent a lot. One particular client I had good vibes with helped a lot with getting rid of my poor guy mentality. Because as he said, riches start with the way you think. Over time, we became closer. He was a very successful young guy. One day he was sitting on my barber chair and he said, "Why barber? There's no money in that." I was so upset, but somehow I had the feeling he wasn't completely wrong. You know, I was watching him pulling up at the barbershop with a $400,000 car. For me, he knew something I didn't. You know what I was so upset about? It's when I realized that as a barber, I should have saved my salary for 8 years without paying rent or even eating to get that car. I understood there is something wrong with how I do things if I want to get in better financial situation. I was like, how come some people get spoiled with the finest thing in this world most of us are deprived of? Isn't that revolting? I mean, I stand the whole day behind the chair, 5 days a week, with potential risk of health issues like back pain for what? You know, for me, I also feel concerned about poverty. I mean, there are kids dying from hunger in my country in Afghanistan. I feel like it's my duty to achieve big things and help people who weren't as lucky as I am. Being unable to help people in need is upsetting me, seriously. Which is finally not completely a bad thing, because it's when you're upset about a situation that you actually take steps to change it. Otherwise, whatever you tolerate persists. Why should it change? Nobody will ever hand you anything. That's why I do videos and bring value to monetize my channel and to be able to accomplish my mission in this world, helping others. From what I learned, what shocked me is when I understood how funny is the fact that we the working class spend our lives at the working place in exchange for money with little to zero knowledge about what money actually is. Everybody thinks they know money until you ask them about money. What's financial literacy? Do you know about interest rate, inflation, or investing? Any idea? Trust me, the vast majority of people are financially illiterate. And it's the kind of information it's hard to get in school, eh? That's one reason why the poor stay poor and the rich get richer. Poor people lack knowledge about money. They lack financial literacy. One of the most valuable things I've learned about money is that whatever you do in your life, you make money in return of the problem you fix in the world via your service or product, and the market will reward you on behalf of the problem you fix. For example, if you're a cashier clerk, you resolve easy problem and you're easily replaceable. That's why it's a low-income job. If you're a barber, your services are a little bit more scarce, but still not irreplaceable, and the market rewards you on behalf of the problem you resolve. Cutting hair. If you get fired tomorrow, the shop owner will find 10 other guys with the same abilities to replace you. My question is, how many barbers do you see in a Lambo going to the shop? Okay, it's just material, but it says a lot about your financial situation, doesn't it? I'm gonna be honest. Go tell someone who's making good money that you're a barber and you're making money too. They're certainly not gonna look at you as a high achiever. They might even laugh at you low-key. Honestly, one of the few barbers in the world who brought it to the next level is Pacino, but he's not cutting hair anymore. He did it because he created his own line of hair product that he managed to display in shelves of big chain of supermarkets across the US, such as in Walmart. This guy is a G. He went from cutting hair to selling product nationally and even internationally. He solved a whole different problem than just cutting hair. And now the market is rewarding him as it should. He went from exchanging his time for money to making money while he sleeps. This is real success and freedom to my definition. So the reason I quit barbering, even though I love the craft, is that I saw a better opportunity than breaking my back behind the chair. I want to retire my family. I want to help poor people in my country. I want to enjoy the finest thing in this world. There is nothing wrong with that. To do so, I need to find a more difficult problem to fix in the world than cutting hair. See, I met in Seattle this 17 years old guy, a teenager who was making $150K a month, just telling stories and monetizing them online. I was really happy to see that for the kid. But I can't explain you how stupid I felt, breaking my back behind the barber chair 5 days a week, 10 hours a day. Meanwhile, this kid is telling stories and making every month what I might not be able to save in my entire life as a barber. Anyways, that's just my vision of things. It's not without risk, and it's not made for everyone.